And aloha! Welcome back to another reading with Susie and Ricky. Welcome back to another reading with Susie and Ricky. And so big news. Jason Momoa cut his hair. We finally figured out the shift in the energies yesterday and got to the bottom of why we were crying yesterday. Because Jason Momoa cut his hair today. Not yesterday when it all happened before the shift in energies and everyone was crying. He cut it today.
He cut it today. But we must have been feeling with our Jedi senses, we must have been feeling the disturbance in the Force.
But he looked so happy when he was getting his hair cut.
Oh.
But it was for a good cause.
Oh, I know he had good reason, but I just, Jason Momoa cut his hair.
Yeah.
No.
I hope we're all over that bit at the moment now. So, aloha from Jason Momoa with the short hair now.
Yeah, aloha.
Welcome.
Aloha.
Anyway, today we were in discussions about what we were reading, and there's a bit of a brainstorming session going on just before, and we. With everything that's going on, we've been reading for ourselves and what's going on with us.
Yeah.
And everything else. And what's happening with the collectives.
Are you going somewhere with
this? No, not really.
Not really. Well, yeah, I suppose what we were talking about is that we're about to go do a festival, and that goes on Thursday. We're at Tuesday. Yeah, that thing. And it's the first time that Ricky and I have worked a festival together. So it's like going, and we're talking about how the dynamic of that shifts, because when we're at the festival, like I'm the one on the tools, and he's up the front. You know, he's the one up and talking, and I'm behind the scenes reading for people one-on-one, and it's like
face of the company.
Yeah, Ricky steps into the light.
I should get a haircut.
No! I can't take two in 1 week.
I should get a haircut. I just need a haircut and a shave and tidy up.
Let me get over Jason Momoa first. Just give me a minute.
You got over him yesterday. You cried before it even happened.
I legit felt the disturbance in the Force.
That didn't even happen and you're all crying.
Do you know what was funny though? Like, Ricky found out about it before I did. He could not wait to send me a message. Jason Momoa cut his
watching it live. I'm like, you're cheering the bro. Yeah, the bro's cut his hair. Yeah, mahalo,
Oh, it's a thing. I need you. Let me get over it. But
just
anyway,
a moment here to finally remember his ear.
Yeah, we're getting. So this week has been all about accepting change. But yeah, look, what we were talking about, we're looking at how the energies are playing out for us. Is Ricky's stepping into the light where he belongs? You know, like I was saying to him in that song, in the song by Ace of Base, The Sign. It literally says that is that, you know, that the person that she's singing about is being dragged into the light where they belong. And I was kind of just mulling over that and going, the energy gets very practical in this next little phase. And it's really playing out for us in going that we're going to the festival and essentially, you know, I am on the tools behind the scenes and Ricky's in the light dealing with the public. And then, you know, it's kind of like I don't know, it shifts from the dynamic of, you know, me being, like I've done these festivals by myself before and now we're into the point where we do them together. So it's like our dynamic has shifted in the way that we're moving forward. So what we thought how that energy would play out for twins in separation is to look at how the divine masculine is now being brought out into the light and front and center, and that divine feminine, how is that going to affect you? Where does that place your energies in moving forward? It's very, very practical energy, isn't it? Like it's the mechanics of the connection changing. So we'll dive into this reading. Had a bit of a rough start there talking about Jason Momoa. Oh my gosh! But I'll pull myself together.
Oh my god.
I will pull myself together and I will smash out this reading. Righto. We do read from the perspective of the divine feminine by and large, because that's who we talk to the most.
What are we reading about again?
What did you say?
What are we reading?
What are we reading? We're going to read about the mechanics of the change that's happening right now. And today is course correction day. We do have one of those Chiron North Node semi-sextile energies in play today, so there's some course corrections sort of playing out. So we'll read on what that looks like. These are very practical mechanical energies that we have happening, and let's see how it affects. We do read, our point of focus is twins in separation, but we do realise twins come together in waves. You might be on the front of the wave, at the end of the wave. Jason Momoa is now catching a wave without hair, but everybody's on different phases of the journey, and we acknowledge that, and we hope you understand that too. So take what resonates, apply it to where you are in your journey, and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But let's have a look. Divine Feminine, from the point of twins in separation. What do we have with regards to these changes? We have the Three of Wands. We have the Hangman. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. Look at that. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Two of Wands. And you'll have to forgive me. I've still got this horrible cold. So if I have to have a bit of a sniff, I hope you'll forgive me. Not fun. But we're getting there. What have we got on the bottom of the deck? The Moon, the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Swords. We've got the Fool, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, look at this. I wasn't even kidding, right? Look what happens. We're on the tools. Do you see that? The Page of Pentacles. We're sitting, it's like a fresh version of the way the mechanics of the connections play out. And it's a very practical energy, the Page of Pentacles, and it is sitting at the bottom of a fresh, I don't even want to call this ascension staircase at this point, because I don't think it's about ascension at this time. I think it's about a review of the way the mechanics of the connections work, and about bringing divine masculine more into the front row, whereas the Page of Pentacles is like it's a smaller energy, it's a start line energy, and it is someone who would be on the tools. It's like a student or an apprentice or somebody who's at the baseline of what they're doing. So it feels to me like if you're getting serious about what your mission looks like, what work you're going to do with regards to the connection, perhaps you're standing and you feel like what the energy is right now is that you're on the tools per se, in pre-harvest energy. So it's still actually waiting for the fruit of this this process to blossom, but you're trusting the journey. You're moving forward, and I say pre-harvest because I'm really looking at September as being a destiny month. But it looks to me like there's still a moment to go till it actually blossoms, which I'm actually pretty online with. I wouldn't expect to see this happening towards the end of the month, but at the start of the month, pre-harvest feels actually on point. And any course corrections that are necessary between now and when the truth of these destinies really take place will be happening. So as you get focused on what it is you're doing in a very practical way, and love has to make sense under these energies. Page of Pentacles is a very practical kind of a guy, very earthy, and all about going, I want to pursue a course of study, I want to pursue an interest. And here you're at the point where it's about to fruit, but it hasn't fruited yet, and it takes a leap of faith to get underway. It takes believing in yourself and trusting the journey, and trusting that the path that you're following is going to lead to the destination that you have in mind for yourself, or the destination that let's say the destiny that you have aligned with the divine. So get to work, divine feminine, get on the tools, do what it is, learn what it is you need to learn, practice whatever it is you need to practice, knowing that the fruit is coming to you, it's on the tree, it's just not ripe yet, but we are anticipating that September will be a destiny or a harvest month. and you got to just keep trusting, keep having, when those leap of faith moments come at you, take them. Jump in with your whole heart and trust the journey, because look what happens on the next layer of energy. There's a level of victory. Does it come with a level of collateral damage? Yes. Okay. But this is fresh start stuff. And this is, you remember what I said to you about like the mechanics of the situation changing? And it's like bringing the masculine out into the light where he belongs. You know, sometimes it means that the divine feminine takes a back seat. I quite literally am looking, see this, Ricky? The festival. There you are at the front. You know, you're like into the light where you belong, and the feminine takes a knee. And, you know, if you've been following our readings, I haven't always read the Five of Swords this way. This card is a victory with collateral damage, but I'm not reading it this way under this particular energy. This fresh new start that you're taking with the divine, this pursuing. Here you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is pursuing either a new course of action, a new study, a new work venture, however you want to apply that. And if it's connected to mission, here is where the divine masculine steps into the light where he belongs, right? And you're working together on the process. It's going to look different for everybody. And this next phase might be that you're still working independently, but your masculine joins the journey. So it might be at the beginning of union where you start to discuss ideals, because we definitely have it in the student energy, right? Or at the baseline. But the mechanics that are playing out behind the scenes, you know, that is moonlight at this point, but you're in the river, and the moon is still those energies of things that you don't know. You still don't know what you don't know about the divine masculine. And I relayed the story in last night's reading because the Ancient Mystics card came out, and what I didn't know about Ricky was that he loved that stuff. Had no bloody idea. However long we'd known each other, had no idea that he would sit down and unpack a story like that with me, and that we would bond over. And this is what the moon is all about, those mystical things that we don't understand. So maybe this is where the work begins, you know, like for Ricky and I, we're talking about the festival, but maybe if you're just coming into union, maybe it's that you are starting to discuss combined ideas, and that is where it gets practical and where the mechanics of the situation start to be understood, and you start to realize what you don't know about the divine masculine and where he's sitting on the journey, and perhaps what he's interested in connected to the journey. It's how I'm reading that. And he steps into the light, right? It's like you feel like you're the one who knows it all. And I'm
like an amazing race story.
Sorry?
Like an amazing race story.
You made yeah. Yeah. And we were because we saw an ad for the Amazing Race, and I said to Ricky, I'd really love to run the Amazing Race. That would be so cool, right? And he goes, no, I don't think I'd enjoy that. He goes, I think everyone would U-turn me or give me the...
Yeah, give me the U-turn.
You keep getting course corrections. And I said, no, I think we'd be fine. I said, if I leave you standing at the place where they U-turn people, I mean, you can sweet talk anybody. You cream cheese, baby. Like you're as smooth as they come. Let me go off and do all the challenges. I'm ridiculously competitive, and we'll leave Ricky out the front in the spotlight, schmoozing everybody, saying we don't get U-turned. But this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Is like, you know, good reference is like running your amazing race with your twin, and whatever it is that you two are about to learn together as these unions come online. It might be like we were just starting to realize that we both have an interest. That's where we, you know, started to get on mission together, was just the bottom line acknowledgement that we both have an interest, and he steps into the light of his own accord, and divine feminine takes the knee and goes, all righto, I didn't know what I didn't know, and my ignorance isn't an excuse at this point. Let's figure out what you do know and work together. You teach me and I'll teach you, and we can be students together about what our mission is all about. So feels to me like the mechanics are is what is unpacking the change or the coming into the light of the mechanics of the connection. And the push from the universe, excuse me again, I'm so sorry. The mechanics here, the push from the universe is to get you on mission, right? See this here? It's going, you've chosen a path. You had a choice of a couple, and now let's pursue what it is that you want to pursue. Choose a path, because what you choose is choosing you as well. This comes towards you. Mission comes towards you when you work towards it. So what I'm seeing is the universe is going, I really want to start to unpack the mechanics of what mission looks like and get you on your journey, get you traveling. And here's the divine peeking over the back here going, come on, come closer, choose your path and go after it. We really want you to come after it. Now look at this, divine feminine. This is why I think the energy is resonating, and I can't make this stuff up, right? Because the hangman is somebody who takes themselves out of the spotlight, right? So divine feminine takes herself out of the spotlight, which is quite literally what I was saying. Ricky will be up the front, up where the people are talking, connecting, in the spotlight, and I'll be hiding in the corner reading. I'll be in the background, in the hangman. So how is that going to play out for twins in separation? So maybe you start to realize that your divine masculine knows more than what he's led on, or your divine masculine is further along the journey than you've ever given him credit for. Maybe that's the case, and maybe you start to go, that's time for reflection. I need to take a step back and actually process that we're actually further down the track than maybe I've given it credit for. Because look what's going on in the soul space, divine feminine. Here's you two together in the Ten of Pentacles. Look, you're here in the Ten of Pentacles in the soul space. Here, the push from the universe is for you. Like Ace of Pentacles for me is all about mission when I read for twins. When this comes in, I go, get to work. There's a fresh start in the way the mechanics are unpacking in your journey. And look, again, I'm going to say it again, no matter where you are in this journey, you might be experiencing this just between you and the divine at the moment. Your divine masculine might not be in the picture just yet, but you will still experience the push of these energies getting you closer to understanding what work it is that you need to do. And if you might find something out about your divine masculine as secondhand information, if you're not finding it out firsthand, it can play out that way too. But what I'm suggesting is that in this space, you are getting the 10th pentacle of mission and see this couple, they're in union, they're working together, they're bringing abundance towards them. But this is in the soul space, right? This is what's happening in the soul space. So everything is aligning in the soul space. The 5D connection is already on mission. The 5D connection already has all it needs to move forward. Are you stepping back a little minute to process that? Sure. But everything's in place. We're good. Challenge. And we've talked about this challenge a couple of times, is when your divine masculine comes in, the challenge is to actually believe that you're moving towards better times. There's still a mystery to unpack with the divine masculine. It's like, where he's been and what he's done and the way that he shows up still might be a little bit confusing, which might leave you still questioning what's in those 8 cups. Generally speaking, the 8 of cups is walking away from pain or walking away from 8 broken cups where things have gone wrong. So in this process, you can quite clearly see there is a divine representation here of some level of the sun playing out there, and she's walking towards it in this process. But to get to the divinity on the other side, she has to walk past her 8 broken cups, which is everything that you've been through, divine feminine. So this is the challenge, isn't it? All of the hurt, all of the pain, all the abandonment, all of the rejection. It is a challenge to move forward. And in that space, you can become a little defensive. The advice from Spirit is that you can become a little defensive, but we can shift this advice and go, I'm going to become defensive in the fact that I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to let what we've been through stop me from moving on to the process where we're walking together in mission. This energy can literally put you at the crossroads, right? of going, do I walk forward? Do I not walk forward? And we talked about this at length last night. I'm not going to go into it in the same degree as I did last night, because we talked about the devil and the divine and the capacity to crash a timeline of you two coming together if this plays out, right? If you get too defensive. If you get too defensive instead of pursuing your union in a healthy, balanced way, knowing that it's going to be a struggle to move past how heavy the journey has been to this point, because you've been through a lot, divine feminine. No one will ever deny that. And what a challenge it is to step back up into a connection that your ego would tell you to just run from, right? It's a lot. But your soul knows better. Your soul knows what's going on. Your soul knows that your twin coming back, or this next phase that you're going through, is the Ten of Pentacles. And that was the goal the whole time, is for you to walk with the divine. Look at the divine shining the sun and the abundance and working together to have a stable, happy, harmonious union where you're doing the work of the divine together. That's the goal. That's the goal. Where are you going to sit? Are you going to sit in, I'm going to use this energy. This is the advice from Spirit, right? Are you going to use this energy? Are you going to put all these posts in place and block the divine and go, actually, I'm going to sit in my very human heart and I'm going to let all my hurt feelings just block me from my blessing, which will collapse the timeline, which will be choice A? Or are you going to let your soul speak and choose the other option and go, I want my divine union and I'm prepared to do whatever it takes, which is the other version of this defensiveness, going, I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to bring it online. But this crossroads, it ain't going away. You got to work the journey, work the program, work the mission. All the while, the journey will be unpacking, right? You're in the water. Look, you've already come so far down this journey, and the moon is going, I know this thing is a mystery, and I know the cosmos is playing its hand in what it's doing, and you're having to be very patient, and you're having to be very wise, and you're having to continue to learn and grow, and on and on and on it goes, all the while not knowing that your divine masculine is ready to step into the spotlight. Give me some cards, Ricky. I want to see the divine masculine in the spotlight. What have you got? What have you got for me?
Top 6 or bottom 6?
I'm going to go bottom 6 first this time. Let's go with the bottom 6. What's the push from the universe? What is... righto. What have we got? Yeah, look. Oh, yeah, look, the push is on. The push is on, and we still do have our Knight of Wands, which is our energy of showing up in desire. So if he's probably still going to come off a little bit hot and heavy, and that is the push from the universe. That's the spark that actually gets him to move forward. But it's not a, the Knight of Wands can get a bit of a bad rap. He gets a bit of, like, he's attached to player energy. He doesn't stick around. He just shows up with his, desire on fire, and then he's gone again, right? It's hot and heavy. But look at what the push is from the universe. We've got the soulmate card, which is the energy that, it's the lower arcana version of the lovers, which is devoid of all those big heavy lessons, right? This is just where you get to enjoy the fruit. This is the harvest. And then you've got the temperance card of it all being in balance, right? And that's what I want to say to you. You don't know what you don't know about your divine masculine. There's a change in the wind, and it's a change that you have. We don't know what they've been tipping, what the divine has been tipping into the masculine's cup. You don't know until you actually know. And when they come forward, that if that's the surface, all right, we're going to accept it. That's how humans attract each other, right? We're desirable to each other. Even when he cuts his hair off, Jason Momoa is attractive. Like that's how humans attract each other.
So if I cut my hair, I'm still attractive.
Oh, you're always going to be desirable. I don't know why I brought that up. It's still bothering me. That's how humans attract each other, right? Is that we are born to be desirable to each other. That's the bottom line. So the spark that rises up in him is desire, and it does. It's like, I want you. Okay, but what's underneath that is you are my soulmate. And why are we so connected? Because the divine keeps us in balance. We are the masculine and the feminine of one whole. We are always connected, we are always one. But this is a human mechanism, and that's what I said to you, all of the practical displays of love, the things that need to make sense. So a divine masculine is going to take an action on an energy such as desire. They will. That's how we're wired. It's how we're wired to. If you don't feel an attraction towards something, you're not going to go after it. And if the reason that he comes in initially, or if his first response is desire, don't disregard it. It just feels like a very cautionary tale, is not to, because the temptation is going to want to, because we've been through so much. And look, this is a repeat message from last night, so I'm not going to harp on it. If you want to dig deeper into the cautionary tales, watch last night's reading. That would be my advice here. But here we've got the push comes in, he leads with desire, but underneath it is soulmate energy and its balance. You can trust it, even if it takes a second to unpack. Right, next level. Oh, look, the Page of Wands. We've still got this desire energy, don't we? Here's where it gets interesting, right? Because, maybe he does come in as the Page of Wands. The Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, it's a definite push. I'm not going to split hairs on what these energies mean. It's desire. And this one's a little more immature than that one, but he's at the starting line. He's standing there with all of his desire. But here's where it gets real divine feminine, because the next step is going, do you want me to pull this back? Here it's it's a bigger energy. Here it's a more pulled back energy, or less mature, but because it comes with the emotion. A broken heart, a Three of Swords energy, will motivate someone into action. It will. So here's where we start to get a bigger picture of what I'm saying. Be careful not to collapse the timeline, because if you make a judgment call just based on the Knight of Wands, you're going to miss out on the Two of Cups, you're going to miss out on temperance, you're going to miss out on unpacking this Three of Swords energy that your divine masculine is carrying. And guess what? What we know about the divine masculine is that he's being drawn out into the light where he belongs. How do we know this? Because the World card is here. He's graduating, right? He is going to mature into these energies. And I just want to keep saying it. What you don't know about your masculine is what you don't know. And when you find out what he's graduated through, you're probably going to be shocked. And you'll be glad that you took the time to get, enjoy the desire stage. Enjoy getting hot and heavy, knowing that the time is going to come where you unpack the mission, and where you unpack the hurt, where you unpack the struggles. But you get to do it together. That's the thing. And that doesn't sound like anything exciting, does it? Going, all the pain you caused me. Let's talk about it. It doesn't sound like something fun that you want to do. And it's not fun, but it's necessary. And if you don't get through the initial stages, which can feel bumpy, you're not going to get to the meat, right? You're not going to get to the meat where you get to graduate into the working together, expanding. The world is graduation energy. You've got everything you need when you get to this space. Comes through in desire, then you get to unpack the journey, then you graduate together and get to move forward together in union. Push from the universe is no surprise from the divine masculine. He wants union. The universe wants you two in union. And, here's where you pursue it. It's coming towards you in this energy. It's like, this is your ships coming in, essentially. You get what you want, right? In this energy, you get what you want. Over here, what is the universe pushing? Is pushing union. So, for mine, it's a destiny month, like I said, and the push is on to get twins into union this month. The kicker is not to collapse the timeline. Like I said, watch last night's reading if you haven't, because there was, I went much more in depth about what that is with collapsing the timeline. How is he showing up? Look, this is a bit of an interesting energy, because essentially I said it brings him into the spotlight, but that's not necessarily what this is showing. Maybe it does, in that he's focusing on the 3 cups out in front of him, but essentially it is another push from the divine. You're in the hangman space where it's deliberate time out, or deliberate, making sure that you're looking after yourself and having a rest. And I've had to do that the past few days with this little cold that I've had to just go, oh, I'm going back to bed. So sorry that I haven't been answering messages as normally, as efficiently as I would. I've been under the weather. Hangman can represent that way, but if it's not affecting you with an illness, or it could be just that you need a break, you need a rest, you need time to process. You need time to grieve the fact that Jason cut his hair off, however it plays for you. But for Divine Masculine, it is a more external push. It is like, this is deliberation, it is filtering, it is distilling information, and the push is on again for understanding the truth of who he is and where he's going. And I'm kind of looking at it as, he is looking at these 3 cups. I am feeling the difference between the two. This is a withdrawn energy, and how they're sitting is, is he just contemplating this cup, or is he focusing on the 3 cups out in front of him? This one's tricky for me. Can you give me one more card on that one? I want to clarify it a little bit. But in the soul space, we've got the King of Cups, which, see, look, yeah, that's more what I'm talking about. That's more what I felt like it would be, that come out of there, is like going, is what he deliberating on, the physical manifestation of the connection and the happiness. And the other thing about the 10 of Cups that I love, see how these 2 couples, like they're fully open and on display, like their arms are open and broad, they've got this rainbow and all their blessings, and they're leading the next generation. That's more like the energy I would have expected to see come out against yours is very contemplated and withdrawn. This is more expressive and outward, and it is like I read this 10 of Cups with the 2 little kids there as leading the next generation, which is exactly how we spoke about that energy sitting, is divine feminine. I'm on the tools at the back, in the back corner reading, and Ricky's out the front talking about what it is that we do and connecting with people. Excuse me. I'll be back in the corner blowing my nose, making sure I can continue. Excuse me. So that's more what I expected to see. So we go, why is the divine coming in this way? Is the divine masculine still sitting in contemplation about what that looks like? To be aware of the fact that you are twin flames. Are they aware? Because I keep saying to you, what we don't know about the divine masculine, we don't know what we don't know. And I know we can reflect. I know that when you were the first one to bring it up between us, I didn't say to you, hey Ricky, I think we're twin flames. You saw me out there doing my work, doing my thing, whatever, and you asked me about twin flames, and you went, what do you know about twin flames? And I was like, what do you know about twin flames? And the thing is, I didn't know what he knew. He'd been out there learning his own thing, connecting with other people, having spiritual experiences that I would have slammed down $1 million to say he knew nothing about. I would have bet the house.
How you doing?
How you doing? What we don't know, divine feminine, from the horse's mouth. What you don't know, you don't know. And they might just surprise you with what they've been contemplating, what they've learned, what they know, what the divine has exposed them to. And it is something that I do see in comments. Oh, my divine masculine is clueless. He doesn't have any idea. And look, honestly, if I was back in separation and I was reading, and I would be typing the same thing. Oh, he's freaking clueless. He has no idea. But I was wrong. I was wrong. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know what he knew. So wrestle with that one, divine feminine, a little minute. Your divine masculine might just know a thing or two that might surprise you, because look what sits in the soul space is the King of Cups, which, you know, I talk about the King of Cups as being the masculine expression of the feminine expression. Masculine expression of the feminine. So the cups is a very feminine energy, you know, like it has the void, it has the, you know, like the internal space, so to speak, and the masculine energy is what the king represents. So it's like the balance of the two is like you're taking action on balancing the feminine energies. Like you can safely drink from this cup. Now the King of Cups doesn't necessarily express emotion in a feminine way. What he does is he's very action based, which very much aligns us with the Venus in Virgo energies, which is practical displays of love, or that love needs to make sense. That's what you have when you have the masculine and the feminine energies, particularly represented in the soul space there. And look how this evolution into the King of Cups in the soul space brings you into the Ten of Pentacles, divine feminine. You don't know what you don't know. He might know a thing or two that you don't think he knows. Yeah.
What you know about that?
What you know about that? What do you think you know about that?
How you doing?
It was a minute, and it did it. It kind of shocked me. I was like, righto.
Let's do this.
Yeah, righto. Let's get on mission. Okay, the challenge comes through as the Queen of Wands. So, has your masculine presented in desire and been called out as fake? All right, I wonder, because you've had a struggle getting past your pain and your hurt on moving to a new horizon, or is it the Queen of Wands? She can get a bad rap. She's not a bad character. She just follows her passions. She does, but it can come off as having an air of not being deep or intense or just acting on passions. And when it comes through in the challenge space, then I just call it out as fake. So, have you received energy from your divine masculine that is hot and heavy or is passion fueled, that you're calling out going, I just don't think there's anything behind it. I think it's just surface. Or the other way I can read this energy is that he's really struggling to come forward with it. It's I feel like he really does want to bring this energy forward. And if he is it being perceived as fake, or does he think he'll be perceived as fake? Is he questioning this whole scenario? Is he wondering, if I show up on the doorstep and I'm being expressing my desire, expressing that I want you, and you know you're sitting in your hurt emotions and you want to swing at him like Mike Tyson, he's going to go, is the whole thing fake? So there's a lot of different ways I could read the Queen of Wands sitting in the challenge position, particularly because he's got the King of Cups sitting there. The push is on for union, and this is a level of fakery there somewhere. The advice from Spirit, though, is that it's a 180. He's been course corrected big time, and that is the energy of today. So perhaps he's headed to your place, and he's driving down the highway, but he's gone, nah, I'm gonna take the exit. I just can't do it. What Spirit will be doing is go and turn back around, get on the highway. You've got to keep going, because the likely outcome, my favourite twin flame card, and I know there's the lovers and the soulmates and all of them fellas out there, but this is my favourite twin flame card, the Three of Pentacles. Why? Because twin flames aren't here to be... Oh, sorry about that little glitch. The camera just turned off for no reason, but we're back with my favourite twin flame card, and I love that it comes out for divine masculine. Why is it my favourite? Because it represents the twin flame connection, as earnestly as I see it, is that we're here to yes, we're here to enjoy the connections. We're here to love each other and to be in connection. Like, your twin does not have to be a romantic connection. By and large, they are. But like, some people have twins on the other side of the veil who never get to, take the walk along the beach and watch a sunset and enjoy the normal soulmate stuff, the light and fluff and nonsense. So it's like, for mine, this is why I like this as a twin flame card more, because it says that we have a 5D union first and foremost. It is the divine masculine and divine feminine. And here, look at this arrow, brings it down to earth in a solid way. And we're here to work on mission. We're here to teach about love on this planet, the new version of love. We're here to carve a path for other people to follow. So the fact that this lands here for divine masculine, but look at your card, divine feminine. This is why, look, if you have not watched yesterday's reading and you've watched this far into it, I'm not going to repeat all the messages of last night, because there was a lot. It was a big cautionary tale about being at the crossroads, and the ability that you have, divine feminine, to crash this timeline and have to do more work. This is a different energy from having to put them back in the oven. It is. It's a different energy from chaser. It's a different energy from runner. This is the beginnings of union. And when you get here, you can tip it straight back into runner chaser energy if you want to. You can crash that timeline. Or you can understand that the first approach might be a little bit, it just comes in hot and heavy, but it doesn't have a lot of substance, right? It doesn't have a lot of substance, but the connection into union has just begun. And you can take some moments to contemplate, but it's like it's understanding that this is the beginning of the union phase, where you get to be in harmonious union and begin your mission or your work together. And that is the whole reason twin flames do this soul ascension journey, is because we're meant to hold the new vibration of love, the love that looks like this, the beautiful give and take energy, the one that has, this is the creation point, the neutral, and twins, they swing around this over and over and over again. We're not conditional like the old love part was. We are infinite. We sit in the vibration of love. We have big heart openings, big heart chakra openings, and that's part of our ascension journey. But then our job is to hold it. That's the mission. That is the mission, to hold it for the rest of humanity, the people who follow us. And that's a big job, right? And the reason that we go through so many, why we run the gauntlet that we do, is because we've got a big job to do. And the potential then exists to crash that timeline, to do some more work. If you're not ready, if you can't get through the hurt and pain this time around, that's fine. It's fine. You can shut this timeline down, and it will reboot. It's like, if that happens, honestly, it's not the end of the world. It's not. You'll get these waves crash at different times, and your timeline is going to be different to the next person's. So, just trust your journey, trust where you're at, trust the work you've done, but know that free will is a powerful, powerful force in these connections, and that there's, this is a cautionary tale of going, what will you do? What have you got in your tank? What have you got in your skill set to be able to work yourself into union? Because like I said last night, it's not like you come back into union and then all of the, like in Snow White, all of the woodland creatures come out and sing hallelujah. They don't. It's still work. Righto. Let's draw some Divine Love Oracle here. I think I've got through. I did do those, didn't I? Yep. Who do you want to draw for tonight?
So do you want to draw?
I want to draw for the Divine Masculine. So, yeah. In honour of Jason's hair.
Oh. I should ring the bro up and say, fucking great hair again.
I'll get over it.
Yeah.
Just don't cut your hair just yet. I need a minute. It's a thing. Alright, Divine Feminine.
You gotta pick something else to do instead of fucking cutting your hair for this course.
Aww, he had a beautiful head of hair. Anyway, moving on. Aloha. Aloha, what have you got for the Divine Feminine? What do you got? Oh, is this one on the top? Ah, three new eyes. Yeah. Look, I'm going to take the masculine one here. Do you want to draw one for the connection? Yep. Oh, this is gold. You know how you get pushed to sometimes just to do this together? Yeah, perfect. Through New Eyes and the Odyssey. Now, the Odyssey story is about Penelope and Odysseus, right? And he was on his 10-year journey to get back to Ithaca because he was to reclaim his throne with Penelope.
Yeah.
Now, Penelope had waited and waited and waited for her husband to return, and she'd had all these suitors come towards her, and they wanted to marry her and go because they wanted the power of sitting on the throne of Ithaca. But she held space, right? She held space for Odysseus, and after this 10-year journey, you know what? He showed up and he was in disguise, right? So essentially, she shouldn't have been able to recognize who he was. He was hidden, but she knew it was him. And she went, "You are Odysseus, you are my husband, I take you," and then he revealed his true identity. This wraps up this reading so perfectly. Odysseus comes into the spotlight, reveals his true identity, you see through new eyes. And what do I keep saying about the divine masculine in this reading is you don't know what you don't know about the divine masculine. You haven't seen the truth yet. There's still something hidden. We had that moon energy. We still don't know what we don't know about divine masculine, but he's going to step into the spotlight soon because that's what Odysseus did. He come back in disguise, and what she didn't know, she didn't know, but what she knew, she knew. Does that make sense? It's like going, she knew it was him, even though he was hidden in whatever, you know, however he showed up, that was like his identity looked completely different. She still knew it was him. And I think it's a really beautiful twin flame story. And if you haven't looked it up, it's called Homer's Odyssey. So it's you can look at that story about you know, back in Greek mythology about the big journey that he had to return to Penelope. But I think this is, you know, it really brings the reading together nicely to say that the divine feminine has to look through new eyes to be able to see her divine masculine because she doesn't know what she doesn't know at this point. And here, this is the kicker. You're going to be at a crossroads. Maybe your divine masculine shows up in a particular way that makes you not recognize him necessarily. And though you don't recognize him, you recognize him. Is this making sense? This is like, it feels to me like it's a real flat out, this timeline really wants to come together. And even if he shows up and the truth of him is not the truth of him, like if he just shows up in that desire energy, let's put him in the story of Odysseus. Odysseus showed up in a completely foreign ideal, but she still saw him. She still saw him, and she still said, "It's you. I know it's you. I choose you." And because she did, everything was happy ever after. I get it. I get it. Right? Don't crash this timeline, divine feminine. You can do it. See them through new eyes and know that first initial, the way they show up initially might be hidden, right? It might be hidden, but you'll know them. You'll know them and work the process, work the mission, and we'll keep being here to support as much as we can to unpack the energies that are happening around you. And what you don't know is what you don't know, but you are going to get exactly what you are aligned with. This is really, really interesting that this card comes in. You are going to get as you wish. And I said it in last night's reading. You know, how many times have you sat in your meditation space? How many times have you sat alone? How many times have you cried and gone, I just want him back. That's it. Just, I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what's gone on. I just want you back. But then you get what you want, right? You get what you want, but there's still a process to work through until it makes sense. Now, this month, this process that's playing, the next process is it needs to make sense, right? So you get what you want, but you've still got a lot to work through, which still feels like you're not getting what you want, and you want it all to make sense. I see you, Divine Feminine, and the kicker here is you've got to look at it through new eyes. You've got to look at the reunion is not coming in as Snow White and all her woodland characters coming out of the forest singing hallelujah and birds whistle everywhere you go. It's not. It's still work when union comes back around. And if you can see it through those eyes and see that ascension, as every process in this journey has an ascension process. Reunion has an ascension process, and then harmonious union continues to have an ascension process. But know this, Penelope spotted Odysseus and she chose, right? She chose very deliberately her twin because she decided to look through her spiritual eyes and see him. And this is what's being asked of you right now. Look at your divine masculine through spiritual eyes, because what you don't know, you don't know. I've said it like 500 times, but it was true for us. And divine masculine is about to be in the spotlight, right? However he comes into spotlight for your particular part of the journey, you're being asked to see him through new eyes, which is your spiritual eyes. That was a reading. I loved that one because this is one of my favourite stories. The Penelope Odysseus story, I just go, it's one of the most powerful. I love Greek mythology anyway, but this one really, really speaks to me. Yeah. Love that came out tonight.
That's awesome, Reed. I too like Greek mythology.
Who would have known?
You don't know unless you know.
Unless you know.
That's right. Yeah.
It was one of those moments, hey, of going, because normally when we sit down to watch a movie, I hate John Wick for the record. Love Keanu Reeves, but hate John Wick. But we would have these different ideals about what would be fun to watch, so we'd probably settle on a comedy there somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it's like I might have had a search up or something and things I'd been watching, and you go, well, I'm interested in that. Do you want to watch that? What?
No, you can't be interested in that. I watched that.
I'm like, are you just watching it because you think that I want to watch it?
Yeah.
And he's going, no, I actually want to watch it. And I was like,
whether you want to watch it or not, I want to watch it.
You could have legit blown me over with a feather. I was like, I didn't know what I didn't know, and until the moment that I knew it.
I've been interested in I've been watching that sort of stuff for like ages.
I know, and we just didn't know.
Since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
I know. I'm still like.
Since the Masons were around.
You were probably there when they built the pyramids.
I put the last brick on top. I did the final touches. I was like an interior designer.
Oh dear. Right, I think that's a reading, hey?
Yes, I think that's a reading,
I like this one, Through New Eyes. This is, and stepping into the spotlight for the divine masculine and being comfortable with it, which is like, I think is another message there, is that the mechanics of the connection are changing, and it doesn't matter which level that you're on, you'll feel the shift in the mechanics.
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of shift was shot yesterday, but anyway, we won't go into that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I hope the reading tonight has helped out with people that are in this situation, struggling at the moment, and hope this brings some sort of light and understanding to how you're feeling, and it helps you get through this part of the journey, getting you through, and all of the positivities that come out of it.
Yeah, all the learnings.
Yeah.
So I do have to apologise because I've been a little unwell. I haven't been keeping up with messages, but I am reading them. So thank you for your messages, and we'll endeavour to get back to everybody as soon as I can. But thank you for leaving your stories and letting us know that we're being able to help. That really does help us know to what to deliver in our readings to keep supporting you. So thank you very much for that. And I am sorry that I haven't been keeping up with messages while I've had this little cold. I've been pushing out a few extra Zs during the day to try it. I really want to be well for the festival, so I've been looking after myself. But shall we wrap it up? Because I could talk the chair off, what is it, the legs off the table. Shall we say goodnight?
Good night.
Good night. In faith, hope and love from both of us. It's bye from us for now.
Bye.
Bye.